Today I'm going to be giving my impressions on D-Nuke, a custom map by 3Clicks Philip, which gained a lot of popularity as he's a popular YouTuber. I'm going to be giving my impressions and what I think of the map and maybe a few things that could help change it, but also I'm going to touch on what I think he does really well on the map. On D-Nuke, no longer do you have to run 5 seconds at the beginning of every single round to meet the main map. He got rid of this, and it's a small detail, but it definitely makes a difference, and it's a big thumbs up for him. But other than that, the T and CT spawns are pretty much the same. No bigger differences than that. The biggest outside change is that there's just a lot more cover added, and this makes it easier for terrorists to advance. A difference is that Silo was not changed, so it's still an even more important advantage now, and it's another place for CTs to check. Now, no longer can you patrol outside with one off. Since Warehouse is now limited and you're going to have to pick a guy while he's trying to move across, you have to use Heaven, for example, a lot more strategically to get a line of sight on. This change makes CQB a lot more of a possibility, so CTs can rush with SMGs or shotguns now instead of resorting to only long-range weapons like rifles and snipers. Philip got rid of Roof as a playing area and more as a grenade spot and a wallbanging area for A-site, mainly on Heaven, to smoke out Heaven, or to shoot a guy through Heaven. He added big windows, which I really agree with, and I think it's really going to add a good dynamic, and it's going to make roof camping a lot less of a problem. There's still a boost so you can get on Silo though, so don't worry about it. If I had to choose one part of this map that I disagree with, I think it has to be ramp and side room. Side room is fine, it's a lot more plain, but it looks kind of barren and ugly, and I think that you should add at least a few props and maybe a little bit of cover. But ramp is really what I don't like. I think it looks very cluttered and disorganized and really just doesn't make sense. I mean, it looks like he made a jump, and I just don't think it makes sense, and I think he has the right idea by making ramp more approachable, but other than that, I really don't think it's right. If you're going in from CT, you can't see over the boxes, and that's just not fair, so it's a very T-sided part of the map, and it's just going to be an easy rush. One thing that he did that I liked is he made the hallway wider so you can't float up with one grenade. But I still think ramp has a lot of work to be done, and I think he has good intentions, but I still think that there can be improvements aesthetically and just mechanically as well. At first I didn't like the Bombsite being redesigned, but it quickly grew on me, especially after I played a very broken round of Vanilla Nuke and realized how screwed up Bombsite B actually is. It's too open, and the new version is a lot more close quarters, and it makes it so one person can't hold down every single section of that huge room. So you really have to think more, and there's a lot more angles to get shot from now, but there's also easier ways to hold up the whole entire room. So it's kind of a double-edged sword. It's easier to defend, but harder to retake. So this is going to be making retakes a lot more interesting. So I'd have to say I agree with the redesign, and I really like it. It really changes it up, and it makes it a lot more interesting. I think that the vanilla Bombsite B is just incredibly boring. Actually, now that I think about it, it's rectangular, and there's not a lot of levels to it, there's not a lot of angles, it's just pretty wide open, and it's a boring style of game, but Bombsite A has stayed pretty much the same besides two changes. Now Heaven is only limited to one side, and there are giant windows where you can pop flashes or smokes or grenades or really whatever into A side now, from outside. Now if D-Nuke by 3Clicks Philip was added into the competitive map pool and officially added to CSGO, would I be okay with it? Yeah, I would. I think it's a lot more interesting than what we have now, and I think that 3Clicks Philip really kind of knows the flow, and he kind of knows what Nuke needs and the change-up. So I think Valve should really borrow some of his ideas, and I think he also has a lot of experience with it, so he probably knows what works and what doesn't. But in my playtest, I had a ton of fun, and I realized that it can be T and CT sided. You can get blown out on T side, and you get blown out on CT side. So once again, I am casual in CSGO. I have around 135 hours, but I'm not a pro, so please don't flame me about it. This is just my opinions, and I'm just trying to help out the community. Thank you so much. Have an awesome day. Peace.